Hey everyone, Guts here to showcase the final determining battle for North America of 2018 between the North American teams Late Knights and Old School, with a series of battles. Old School winning the first battle in the final campaign at Passage of Augustus, followed by a Late Knight victory at Capitoline Hill. The two clans came back for another trade-off, with Late Knights taking the win at Gergovia, and Old School returning with a victory of their own at Marathon. The score is tied between these teams, and this is the fateful campaign which determined the winner of North America. The battles of Rubicon and Salernum. Rubicon. On this battle, the river splits both forces, with Old School in the north and Late Knights in the south. Immediately, both forces send their centers to skirmish along the river. Old School's front line is made of spearmen, while Late Knights' front line was made of heavy swordsmen, both with archers right behind. No large amount of damage was traded in the initial skirmish. Majority of Late Knights' cavalry was playing defense behind the central line, while the majority of Old School cavalry pushed the western front. On the eastern side, the remainder of cavalry from both sides scouted the other side in case of any unexpected flanks. The main push came from the west, and instead of heading straight on towards the challenge, Late Knights played a defensive retreat, with Guts' cavalry breaking off the center to support the western flank during the pullback. An unsuspecting Old School force was unable to get their cavalry to the back line of the Late Knights' infantry line, all the while Late Knight heavy artillery guarded by Storm's cavalry in the center was pounding the western front. It was once the Late Knights retreated successfully back to their center, Old School decided to push from all sides. The front of Late Knights' center pushed back towards their base, right below their artillery. On the eastern front, Old School's cavalry commander, Old Jaguar, pushed across the river, engaging with Late Knights' commander, Rainfire, swiftly taking out his single regiment of cavalry. Rainfire then chases with his elephants as Storm's cavalry pushes on to meet head-on with Old Jaguar's cavalry. By now, Old School's western flank, led by Entropy, has sustained casualties. 25% of its force has been killed in the push, while Late Knight's western flank, led by Cardinal Sin, took about 5% of losses. The center forces of Old School, led by Crew of None and Trauma Disaster, push on the Late Knights. With superior numbers on the center, Old School was swiftly pushing Late Knights back. Guts takes notice of the push and decides to send a regiment back towards the back lines to keep on the pressure, allowing for Late Knight's center, Fire Phoenix, and Ruthless to regain bearing to re-engage effectively. The main center battle begins at the entrance of Late Knight's settlement. The cav battle in the east continues between Storm's End and Old Jaguar. From the western flank, Old School's commander, Callan, sees an opening for his attack to charge onto the archers of Rusty Nuke. It is here he is unsuspecting an ambush from Guts from the forest. Here Callan takes immediate losses. Guts, taking the advantage, turns his attention back towards the center, while Storm, pushing Jaguar back, moves in to support Guts at the center. The mobility kept the infantry from forming a defensive triangle formation around their archers in time, and Guts charges in and hits the archers in the backside of one of the spear regiments. It is here Old School has lost the western fight, leaving only Callan with a regiment of cavalry to harass Rosty's archers. Old School's western force just could not push against Late Knight's very own commander, Instigator, with his artillery. Old School's center is in complete disarray. Rainfire with his elephants pushes in while Storm rides out to re-engage Jaguar. As the western Late Knights win their flank, they re-engage in the south, taking damage from Callan's remaining cavalry forces, though it was not enough damage. Guts focuses on Callan, finishing the last threat from the west, with western forces in complete chaos. Late Knights refocus their engagement and single out Old School forces in Late Knight's own territory. Late Knight's center pushes back on Old School, driving them back to the river. Callan's cavalry is able to move away as the remainder of the western infantry draws Guts and Storm away. This gives Callan a second opportunity and successfully allows him to hit the Late Knight archers in the center, though the small victory is short-lived as Guts catches up to him, hitting in the rear flank. Throughout the Late Knight's backline, Old School stragglers are taken out as the final fight is now in the center. And as the last of Old School stragglers are scattered, Late Knights refocused all of their units back on the center for a final attack, overwhelming the remaining Old School center. And though this victory was merely a setback for Old School, it was the next battle that drove in the damage needed for domination of North America.